This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into the Royals POSTCAST, your go-to spot for live post-game reaction to every single Royals game this season. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and you can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That is right by my name tag. That's at Chance and then Liebau. If you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for making the Locked On Royals podcast or the Royals POSTCAST your first listen of the day and your go-to place for Royals reaction. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live and whenever Jack posts a video. Thanks so much for joining the show, and feel free to join our live chat. Let me know your thoughts on the game, and I'll do my best to get to some comments. Obviously, some people already getting in here early in today's episode because a really rough game today for the Royals. They lose 5-0. Tarik Skubal does what he's really done all season, all of the last two seasons, in my opinion, the best pitcher in all of baseball. I think that he's a really tough guy to counter with. The Royals did get, I don't want to say the best of him, but they beat him earlier this season in Kansas City. So you had that history against him. Michael Wacha pitched really well against the Tigers in their first home matchup when they played the K. That was the last Royals game that I've been to. And Michael Wacha just did not have good stuff today. He was really, really bad today. Uncharacteristic Michael Wacha game. Absolutely falls apart in the fifth inning on a day where the Royals, not really on a day, but in a season where the Royals need more than just 4 2/3. They need pitchers to not only get out of the fifth inning, but get out of the sixth inning. And Michael Wacha couldn't even give them 4 2/3, or give them 5 innings. And he's led the team in innings this season. Quatraro doing his best to save the day, going to the bullpen, but it proved to be too little too late because on a day where Tarik Skubal's pitching, you can't really afford to give up more than maybe 2 runs. And the Tigers bullpen is really, really good. They've been really good since the Tigers have been hot. So obviously a disappointing position for the Royals to be in tonight as they lose 5-0 to the Tigers. They lose 2 out of 3 in the series. They fall back to 3 games out of the wild card race. And the mountain gets a bit steeper. I mean, Jack has talked about it, that while you're still only 3 games out of a wild card spot. They've been 3 games out of a wild card spot for a week and a half now, and they have not made up any games. And the simple fact of the matter is that they're running out of time. I mean, there's not an infinite amount of games that get played in a season. They play 162, and they, starting tomorrow, have a month left of baseball. And they have to have a much bigger sense of urgency if they plan on having anything going on in October other than a trip to Cabo. So let's talk about it. We'll talk about the offense because Tarik Skubal was fantastic today.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The offense as a whole. The lineup that was thrown out there today was not exactly a fan favorite. I think it was probably a fan least favorite, if I'm being quite frank. You have Grichuk in the 5 hole, Nick Lofton hitting 6th with his 196 average, Luke Maile hitting 7th, Michael Massey still in the lineup, and he actually had one of their 4 hits today. And then Tyler Tolbert, for some odd reason, continues to be playing center field. He's not a good center fielder. He's not a good center fielder. He's not a good second baseman, left fielder, right fielder. He's not a good base runner. He is not a good hitter. Don't understand why he's in the lineup. And I don't want to come on and feel like I'm attacking one player over and over and over again. But you cannot continue to employ Tyler bleeping Tolbert and consider yourself a competitive baseball team. You cannot have October dreams if you employ him and play him and start him more than 2 times a week, more than once a week even. I mean, even there, I just don't understand how you can put him in a position to be the failure that he has been. You did not have any expectations for him this season. While Dairon Blanco has not played very well this season at the major league level or in AAA and has not been able to stay healthy, he's a much better alternative. Tyler Tolbert, man, we've been told that this kid's fast. That's kind of the selling point that we've seen with Tyler Tolbert. Well, he's really fast. Guys, he's like 77th percentile in sprint speed, according to Savant. there's like 6 guys on the team that are faster than him, including Mike Yastrzemski. And he's not a good base runner when he's on the field. So he's not a good base runner. He's not as fast as is advertised. He is not a good hitter. He's not a good fielder. He cost them a run again today with a stupid play in center field. And honestly, let's just be honest. I don't know. I don't think that the blame only goes on Tyler Tolbert. Nick Lofton, what the bleep are you doing? I mean, get the heck out of the way. There's no reason for Nick Lofton to even be close to that play as a left fielder. You're not Alex Gordon. You don't need to be making that play. It's almost as frustrating of a play in Nick Lofton's case as it would be, or as it was 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was 3 weeks ago. It's been a long time since the John Ray play in left field in Minnesota. Just a stupid decision. You put yourself in a stupid position. I mean, I'd say this blame is 75% on Tolbert. But what the heck is Nick Lofton doing in that position in the first place? Get out of the way. You have been playing professional baseball for 5 years now. You have played baseball for about 20 years of your life. You not understand fly ball priority. The center fielder is making a play. And not only is he a bad center fielder, but he is not comfortable in center field whatsoever. And you get in his way. You force him to second guess himself, and the ball flies into the grass. That is just so stupid. I'm so tired of seeing both of those guys in the lineup, whether it's in left field, second base, center field. Don't want to see him in the lineup at all. And I've defended Matt Quatraro to a certain point, but I'm getting to my breaking point. I don't care at this point that they are right-handed and they're facing a left-handed pitcher. Tarik Skubal's an excellent pitcher. I would love for you and Matt Quatraro to give me any numbers in which Tarik Skubal has any sort of disadvantage at any position this season. He's been fantastic all season long. And instead of going out there and saying, you know what, to heck with it, we're going to throw out our best 9 because that's all we could counter with against the best pitcher in baseball. They throw out a bunch of Joe Schmoes and a bunch of guys that are platoon hitters who shouldn't be in the lineup in the first place, shouldn't be donning a major league uniform, and we see them just absolutely pee down their leg against one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, this is I understand they are what? I mean, they're now 70-67, still 3 games out of a playoff spot. At this point, I just don't understand. I'm getting so frustrated because the team refuses to learn from their mistakes. And that's, in my opinion, the sign of bad coaching, bad management. And I'm not saying that he's a bad manager. I agree with, I'd say, 70% of what Matt Quatraro does on a day-to-day basis. But you continue to make the same mistakes that you made in May, the same mistakes that cost the entire season in June. And you wonder why we're sitting here on August 31st, 3 games out of a playoff spot, getting it shoved up your you-know-what by the Tigers for the umpteenth time this season. It's just extremely frustrating. I think they end the season at 4-9 against the Tigers at the end of the season. I think this is their last matchup with the Tigers. Thank God. They have an off day tomorrow. Thank God. But once again, they just have not shown a lick of energy. You know, you return home after an off day, you'd think they'd have a little bit of juice. They didn't. They failed to do really anything whatsoever in the entire series against the Tigers. Yet another frustrating series against Detroit. And honestly, I'm just kind of out on, trying to talk myself into whether this team can be a postseason team. I understand it's a negative way to think about it, but man, I just don't understand why this team is even. The fact that they're even in the playoff race, it's a testament to how bad the American League is this year. There are a lot of teams that are worse than the Royals, and for that reason, it's a shock. It's incredible that they're in this position that they are right now. But I know I went a little bit long in that first segment. When we come back, we'll get to a question regarding the roster expansion tomorrow, and we'll also get to Michael Wacha's outing because it was not good. That'll be coming up next here on the Royals Postcast. Hey, Royals fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play Store right now and start earning cash back at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can even make up to $300 a year from just buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for free terms and conditions. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little bit more energy to Sundays and Saturdays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Today's episode is also brought to you by PrizePicks. So are you ready to play? Download the PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. I've been playing PrizePicks lately, and it's such a fun way to stay locked in for the season. And the best part, even if one of your picks misses, PrizePicks invented the Flex Play, so you can still double your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, let's talk about Michael Wacha. Jalen talked about it in the comments. Wacha was off to a great start and then just totally collapsed. Jalen, you could copy and paste that comment and put it under any of our videos we've done after a Michael Wacha start. Yet again, Michael Wacha just, I don't know if he's not mentally tough enough to battle through more than 2 times through the order, but that guy, for some reason, maybe he was exhausted from nights with a newborn. Congratulations to Michael Wacha on officially being a boy dad. Congratulations to him. But he came back today, and he just looked really poor. He just looked really, really bad today. Command, just putrid. He just refuses to respond to adversity whatsoever. And I mean, it's just extremely frustrating to see them be put in this position because Michael Wacha somehow, some way, despite being unable to get into the 6th inning and darn near every single start he's made this season, he's the team leader in innings this season. And I don't understand how that's even a remote possibility. He's been, for my money, I know he's been good at times, but a lot of those numbers are propped up by starts against some pretty bad teams. And Michael Wacha, you got to give him credit. At some times, he'll just turn in a 7-inning shutout performance. But time and time again, as we've seen this season, he is unable to respond to adversity. Runners on means runners score. The ball does not stay in the yard against him. He just cannot get guys out with his slider. And there's obviously a lack of confidence in him from the managerial staff. Matt Quatraro just doesn't seem to have much confidence in him. Michael Wacha today got yanked at 71 pitches, and 52 of them were strikes. But the command was off because he just didn't have good command in the zone. While he threw 52 strikes on 71 pitches, wasn't hitting spots, too many balls over the middle of the plate, and he gets tagged today. I mean, like everybody said, he was good through 4 innings and then just collapses. I don't know if it's just a mental hurdle that he has to get through, that maybe he just doesn't like throwing out of the stretch. But for some reason, there's such a failure on his part to respond when his back is up against the wall. I mean, I think that Michael Wacha would be the worst pitcher out of the bullpen. And this is just a hypothetical. He just wouldn't be a pitcher that could throw out of the bullpen because he just fails every single time he is tasked with coming in with any kind of threatening. With any kind of offense threatening him, he just fails every single time. And I just get so frustrated with him because you would think in what is this for him? Year 14 in the league? You would think at this point he would understand how to get out of jams, how to get a ground ball every once in a while. But for some reason, it is just too tall of a task for him and the rest of this pitching staff to pitch with runners on base and to get out of innings. It's over and over and over again. It's not just Wacha. It's Lorenzen. It's Lugo. It's Cameron recently. I mean, Cameron's actually been pretty solid at being able to get out of jams. But for some reason, there is some mental block that this team gets into where they just cannot seem to pitch with runners on, and they cannot seem to manage base runners. I just cannot understand what is going on with Michael Wacha. It's increasingly frustrating watching him because it just feels like he is nibbling at the zone. He is so afraid to compete in the strike zone because he's afraid of getting a ball tagged off of him 420 feet that he refuses to pitch in the strike zone. And give credit where Stephen Kolek, I almost called him Tyler Kolek, the old Marquette guy, but Stephen Kolek last night, he was competitive. I mean, he was a dog on the mound, didn't walk anybody, was in the zone, had no fear whatsoever. So it's not a philosophy problem because they have guys like him, like Chris Bubich, who has really pitched well with runners in scoring position. And the entire flipping bullpen does it well as well. But we've seen it again from Cole Reagans this year as well. I mean, they just cannot, for some reason, get out of their own way with runners on base. The bullpen can do it. The rest of the pitching staff just can't. But it's increasingly frustrating. And every time I turn on the Royals game, it feels like I know what's coming. And for that reason, it's horrible. But I was looking around at the comments before I went live, and I did see this comment. Roster expansion dates are tomorrow, so we will have some players added to the roster. And this commenter asked the lineup in Omaha. Oh, sorry. They asked if they have to call up one pitcher and one hitter when the rosters expand, and that is correct. They can only have 14 hitters and 14 pitchers on the roster at a time. There is a maximum, or there is a set. You have to have 13. It has to be even across the board. You cannot have 14 pitchers on the roster unless it's a doubleheader before September 1st, and you cannot have more than 14 at any point in the season. So there will be a pitcher and a hitter call up tomorrow. I would imagine that it'll be Lewinter Avila that gets called up because Stephen Kolek was sent down today. So I would imagine that since he was just sent down, he cannot be called up for, I think, another 10 days, or maybe it's 5. But I would imagine that Lewinter Avila would get the call up today. And I would imagine it's 100%. It's going to happen. Jack Cagliano will be called up tomorrow because his rehab assignment expires starting tomorrow. So it will be Avila and Cags for my money. And I know there's some people asking for Carter Jensen to get called up. I would be surprised if Carter Jensen gets called up. Maybe if they're out of the playoff race, if they get outside of 5 games out of a playoff spot, maybe we see Carter Jensen. But I really, really doubt we see him at any time this season. And that's just been a putrid series. And as Carson asks, not a single series win against the Tigers this year, right? Yeah, that's 100% correct. Not a single series win against the Tigers. And I don't know what it is. They just cannot seem to get out of their own way. They'll move to 3 games out of the wild card spot. And like Jack tweeted today, they've got home games against the Angels and the Angels and I believe the Guardians coming up this week, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's the Twins. Sorry, Twins and Angels coming up this week at home. The Mariners are on the road all week, so the Royals have an opportunity to maybe gain some ground. The Mariners have not been great away from home this year, but the Royals also haven't been great when they're within striking distance. So it's kind of catch-22. It's kind of pick your poison. But man, that was a really, really bad outing from the Royals today. And by all accounts, I don't think that you could come away impressed with any single player that donned the cleats. Maybe you can. I mean, Michael Garcia had 2 doubles. You can give him some credit. Out of the leadoff spot, continues to hit well out of the leadoff spot. Daniel Lynch gives up 2 hits. Jonathan Boland pitched fine. Taylor Clark pitched fine. But I don't think there's any player that donned the blue or the white and blue today that should go into the clubhouse feeling good about themselves. Similar to how K-State yesterday. They pick up a win, but I don't think anybody that wore that K-State uniform that repped the Power Cat, I don't think anybody can feel good about themselves after that win. But today the Royals lose, drop 2 out of 3 to the Tigers, and once more they are in a hole heading into the rest of the homestand. All right, I appreciate you guys for being here on this Sunday. We would really appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because we'll be back on Tuesday. I'll be back in my home studio. So we'll be back on Tuesday reacting live to the Royals postgame. We'll be doing another Royals postcast for the Royals and Angels game. We will see you guys shortly here on the Royals postcast.